My friend believes only in the New Testament and not the Old Testament. Makes her daily reading a lot faster.
Yeah, skip the Psalms.
She is convinced that there is no real science in the Old Testament to validate its history. Please help. What would you say to that?
Now, by science, I assume that she's talking about Genesis chapters 1 through 11, because the New Testament has miracles just as the Old Testament does. For example, the life of Christ, the Gospel of John points out 7 miracles done by Christ, changing water into wine, multiplying the bread and things like that. And so they have to be talking about Genesis 1 through 11, because God is a miraculous God, and God can intervene and supersede natural law in order to do miracles, and that's demonstrated in both the Old and New Testament. Well, let's just take Genesis chapters 1 through 11, because that's often the battleground for people who have a hard time with believing the Bible and believing science. And one way I like to do it, I like to just point to Jesus and the apostles and the writers of the New Testament, because as a Christian, our faith, as we're going to learn tonight, is founded upon the teachings of Christ and his apostles. And so we need to see what they believed about the Old Testament. And we know exactly what Jesus believed about the Old Testament. He believed that it was God's literal truth written through men of God. And he believed it was inspired, and he believed it was authoritative. For example, in Mark chapter 10, Jesus, when he was confronted by the Pharisees about an issue of divorce and remarriage, he says, well, what does the Bible say? Didn't God make them male and female? Actually, it says, in the beginning, God made them male and female. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. And so Jesus used Scripture, Genesis chapter 2, in order to validate God's truth of creation. And so Jesus believed in the literal creation account of Genesis chapter 1 and 2. Also, Jesus believed in original sin, which came from Adam, because he was the second Adam, so that validates Genesis chapter 3. And also, Jesus believed in the literal flood account, because in Matthew chapter 24, when he gave his Olivet Discourse, he pointed to Noah and also the times of Noah. He also pointed to Lot as well. And so Jesus believed in a literal flood account, and a literal Noah, a literal ark. So that validates Genesis chapters 6 through 9. And that pretty much takes place, throughout the whole Genesis 1 through 11. So Jesus believed it as true. Now the question is, well, who is Jesus? Well, Jesus is God. He claimed to be God. He proved to be God through a sinless and miraculous life. But also the greatest proof is his resurrection from the dead. And so if Jesus believed the Old Testament to be true and inspired, then you and I, as his followers, must also believe that the Old Testament is true and inspired. And then we can look at the apostles. The Apostle Paul, referring to the Old Testament, said all Scripture is given by the inspiration of God. And so, a lot of the New Testament, yes, was written at that time, but majority of it, their Bible was the Old Testament, the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Hebrew Scriptures. And so Paul believed in the Old Testament Scriptures. He quoted often from the Old Testament. And then Peter, and writing most of the general epistles, he believed in a literal Noah, a literal flood, and things like that. So the Bible is one whole, Christ's redemption. God's redemptive plan to save man. The old is in the new. The new is in the old concealed, and then the old is in the new revealed. So it's all one unity.